So this is Andre Kent Jr. and I'm currently in distress. Don't have a job. Been working on my entrepreneurship stuff. Been working on building my business, and allegedly, in my head, I had a thought. I put my parents' address down to receive my business documents and my finances and this, that, and the other, but they don't draw against the house for my finances, right? And they don't collect from my finances through the address that I live at, right? So I wanted 100 homes for myself to live in, each one of them. And my management team, I had a no compensation clause on my contract where I was fine with it because it's like volunteerism, clinical hours and service hours and stuff. I have never drawn against the balance of anybody's house or home besides when we started our company, and Aunt Beverly Thomas was the guarantor for Young and Dumb Entertainment. But normally I am the guarantee for my stuff. So if they didn't jump in there and start doing stuff through, and Pitt Community College, eventually as an alumni of Pitt Community College, I hope that I get the position that I'm asking for. The position I'm asking for anywhere from $50,000 to $300,000 a year at Pitt Community College as the post scholarship manager, if you will. Not really post awards ceremony manager, if you will. And, but I have never drawn against the balance of any address or anything. I was in high school 6 years ago, 2022, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I was in high school. 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, I was still in university, college. So that would give me 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, where I've been here at this same exact address. Haven't been drawing against it. Haven't been using the balance against it. Haven't been using no equity lines in the house. Haven't been using any finance of the home. And keeping a bill and record of everything. You saw recovering payments 2016. The year 2016 is when I decided that I would pay back my parents for giving me $200 bi-weekly while I was in college. And then my Aunt Beverly, of course, she gave me $150,000 for, in total, she gave $80,000. In total, she gave $70,000 for Young and Dumb Entertainment, which is a company where she treated it like the name was so bad. The name Young and Dumb Entertainment is so bad. I can't be seen under that umbrella. I can't be seen as something like that. So we need to destroy that company and this, that, and the other. When Young and Dumb Entertainment, then they'll go support stuff like Tesla X and Tesla companies and all that other stuff, but at the same time, she only gave $70,000 in total and a piece of her credit line, which pulled out a $20,000 credit card that we're paying on because they wanted to stop all this stuff because the name of it. And I just felt like it was just reckless. But in 2016, I decided to make a spreadsheet called Recovering Payments, where I would go put approximately, I probably put altogether about $500,000 inside State Employees Credit Union as a deposit into my personal bank account at State Employees Credit Union. And the interest generated at 5% would give them all of their payments back that they've ever put into me. I'm not saying that anybody's like that. I'm not saying any parents are like that where they, they finance your child through high school, where it's their responsibility and then ask for the amounts back or stuff or whatever. But the interest amount that they would get, how they would say normally, the amount of money that we gave you, you could have bought this with it. You could have bought that with it. You could have bought this and that with it. Amount of money that you spent. $150,000. It's crazy because $150,000 in total that I've ever pulled out as a loan or a grant or anything. It's hilarious because my championships and accomplishments and stuff are worth a lot much more than that. I don't have a deal with anybody besides my Young and Dumb Entertainment team and then my Triton Exception team and Athena Finance Group. I don't have a deal. That $150,000 is crazy because they treat it like a family-friendly loan, but then they go do all sorts of shit to it just to make sure you can't pay it back, like lending sharks. But you know what the ironic part about it is? At Y Combinator, They're giving out $500,000 a year, $500,000 per startup for 5% resources and training, and everybody together only put up 70,000 minus the credit line, which would take you to 90,000. And then because they didn't follow through with everything that they were supposed to do, then the bill ended up being like 140,000. But at the same time, they would never let you spend it like you want to spend it. And if you spend it wrong or you spend it in a way that they don't want it spent, this, that, and other, then they go mess up all your stuff so you can't make it back. I have never drawn against somebody's credit line and never drawn against it without an agreement and all this stuff. And then just sitting there messing my stuff up saying you don't need all those houses because all you're going to do is draw against the balance. It's funny when you say all I'm going to do is draw against the balance when I asked them specifically to pay the homes off completely instead of making the bare minimum of payments. I asked them to pay the whole credit cards off instead of making the bare minimum of payments. So now I'm going to treat it as like my administration and membership, they're going directly against my guidance and my advice as the owner. And I have tried to get them fired repeatedly because the hierarchy in other countries, this, that, and other, but that's completely unacceptable when they're giving out $500,000 for 5% at Y Combinator and places like Y Combinator. And what we want to do is Young and Dumb Startups, where at Young and Dumb Startups, we're kind of doing the same thing where I've had to up how much I give out because they're not allowed to buy a house directly out with it. And they're giving out on Young and Dumb Startups, we had pre-planning to give out $500,000 for 10%. And we weren't going to tell them how to spend it. So I just feel like I've been taken advantage of. I feel like now I'm in distress because other people, especially black people and people of color, are always trying to get over on the next black person or person of color if they do their projects without them. They want to be invested, but they just don't want somebody to be successful without them on it.